Have you ever wondered how to get a job in academia? Yeah, me too. That's what I wondered for years. I have my PhD and I couldn't figure out how to crack the code or crack the surface to get into academia. And because of that, I felt like I wasn't fulfilling my passion. I wanted to be an adjunct. I wanted to be able to help people. But how can I do that? I knew friends that were in academia, but because of my discipline, my credentialed area where I have 18 hours, and it's different from where they're at. So I was like, how can I do this? So, how can you get into academia? How can you become an adjunct with no connections in in something totally different from your friends? Well, first, you apply with the right documentation. Second, you reach out and make connections with people on LinkedIn. You reach out to people that are at colleges and universities. You add yourself to the adjunct pool and you keep applying. Don't give up. And that's what I had to continually tell myself. Don't give up, because it was 2020 and I knew that I wanted to teach. I had a desire that has always been my passion. I want to be able to help people that are just like me, because the one thing that I do remember in my life for a fact is my college years, undergrad, grad, and my PhD. And I wanted to be able to give back. I wanted to be able to share my knowledge, but I couldn't figure out how to get my foot in the door because I didn't have any friends there. And because of that, I felt disconnected and also felt lost. That's where I've been talking about doctor now what. So in that journey, I figured out what I wanted to do. And what I wanted to do was teach. And it took me years to really think about what is it? What is it about academia that makes me feel warm and fuzzy? It's the fact that I get to share my knowledge. I get to share my experience of about the places that I work for, the places that I have traveled to, and all of that with people that love to hear my story. And I just was excited by that. I was excited to be able to share and to motivate students and to be a part of their future, because I remember what it was like. And that's the thing. The reason why I did it, the reason why I joined academia is because I remember. I remember being that student that felt like nobody cares. Nobody is worried about me. Nobody cares that my father got prostate cancer, my mom got sick, broke her leg. None of that. Nobody cares. But I was wrong. And because of that, I had a professor that cared. And I wanted to be that professor as well. I wanted to show people that through empathy and through understanding that you can be there. And I do that with my students now because I know what it's like. And that's the reason why I decided to go in the field that I went into. But boy, was I nervous. My first class was a disaster. I blew it. I didn't know. It was on Zoom. I knew what I was talking about, but I didn't have it down. I wasn't organized. I didn't understand, like, okay, let's have a format and let's have some structure to go by. But now I got it. And that structure is what I use today. I create PowerPoints. I talk about my personal experience. I talk about all the things that bring me joy. I talk about owning a business, opening a business, all the things that students wanted to hear. And that's what led me into academia, because I remember a instructor that I had, a professor that I had in college that was just, he loved it. He talked about being an adjunct and being able to share his knowledge with people all around different countries, all around Georgia, Atlanta, all around the world. He taught online, he taught in the classroom, and I was just fascinated by that. And that drove me to keep applying for teaching jobs. So the first job that I got, great job. I love it. I loved it. And it's an experience that is self gratifying for me. It's self fulfilling. And I know why teachers do what they do, because it's a passion. And teaching and educating has always been my passion. And that's the part of my career that I decided to take in a different angle. And because of that, I feel fulfilled, because I feel like I'm giving back in a way that brings me joy. Because I remember working at different jobs and processing, building reports, and it just didn't bring me joy. And it was a lot of paperwork on the back end, a lot of red tape to get things changed, and it just didn't bring me joy. But the one thing that brings me joy is to be able to talk about my experience, to be able to share my story with my students, to be able to give them a weekly motivation every single week, because regardless, I know what it's like to get there and feel, after a couple weeks, feel burnt out, feel like, why am I doing this? And I motivate them to keep going. And that's what academia does for me. I know that there are so many paths that I could have went down in my journey, but the path I chose was academia and coaching. I love coaching people, and I love teaching students, because I feel like that part of me was always the silent part of me that I kept buried in me, because I felt like a part of me wanted to still be in corporate America, but another part of me wanted to fulfill a dream of mine, a goal of mine. And that goal has been academia. And if you are a PhD that is out here, even a person that has their master's degree, and you're out here and you're like, I want to do something with this, try academia. Try it, give it a try and see what it's like. And I will link my other video about my first experience, about what I did wrong, how I couldn't get the job the first time I applied for a year. I couldn't get the job. I'll link that below. I also link below my starter kit for my curriculum vitae tips and tricks to get you into academia. And then I also link my my curriculum vitae toolkit below. So with that being said, check them both out, see if you're interested. But if you're a person that is interested in academia, don't be like me. Don't be scared. Just give it a try. You can do it.